right, guys, welcome to another episode of Marvel Buddies. How are you, addicts?
It's going great, buddy.
Yeah, it's awesome. So to chat to everybody that is going to be joining us today for this episode, I do have to say that today is the last day of me not taking your characters in, as I've had enough votes, enough characters to do an episode on a character I feel is right. It's the right time to do it on. And so next week and for the next month at least, I'll be getting back to you guys on all the characters that you've wanted me to cover. Yeah. So addicts, I did mention that I would be doing this week one of your favorite events. Can you, by this giant list of characters here, guess?
Or just by what it just says in the first
You're
sentence
not reading the first sentence. You're this here. Stop looking at this. Stop.
there.
Stop. Can you yeah, you know what? You know what? You put it back. Put it back, addicts. What, you wanna guess what we're doing? What we're doing this week?
hmm. Civil War.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Sorry. Yeah, we're doing Civil War, guys. Everyone's gonna fight each other. All these guys are gonna duke each other out. Yep. Anyway,
No more
no
mutants.
more mutants, baby. This week we're doing House of M. House of M. Um,
Well, hopefully this week I don't get a phone call and try to get
yeah,
scammed
yeah,
$600.
yeah. Hopefully, that was a wild day, but hopefully everything goes to plan, and you can stay with us for the entirety of the episode. But we are covering House of M, a big event, and there's been a lot of like rumors of it sprinkling throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I just wanted to cover it before anyone got questions. Oh, what's going on? Blah blah blah. So I just wanted to cover it. To answer Lojan's question before I get into it, yes, my chair is raised because unfortunately my monitor is too tall and does not if I have a face cam, it'll just go like over. You'll just see like my forehead. So unfortunately, this is a raised chair type beat.
And
Um,
instead of simply taking and moving the camera down.
I mean, it is moved down, but it's as far down as it could go. Anyway, here. Better? Now it's lowered. Now you guys see a little less of me, a little more of me maybe
Little more of the gun show.
of the gun show. Ah, exactly. Anyway, to get started on this, comic was written in 2005 by big old Brian Michael Bendis. If you guys don't know who that is, big time Spider-Man writer, big time X-Men writer, big time Marvel writer in general. And we start the comic off with Wanda giving birth to her kids. If you guys remember from WandaVision, those are Billy and Tommy, aka Wiccan and Speed. However, this one has a little bit of a twist, as none of it is real, but she's using a small fraction of her reality-altering powers. And there's a voice. There's a voice there. Voice of a
So kind of
bald
like
man in a wheelchair.
WandaVision.
Sort of, a little bit. Just a glimpse of that. And she's using her powers. And there's a voice saying, "Hey, we talked about it. You have no children. There's no one in this room but you and me. Wanda, put the world back now." And she's like, "No. You see my beautiful babies?" And he's like, "You cannot have children. You never could. Put it back." As Wanda's gone off the deep end. She wants kids. She can't have kids. And especially not with R2D2 over here. So
Yeah, with a literal
with a
robot.
literal robot here. Yep. And she does. She breaks the reality, and she goes into her normal state where she what's the word I'm looking for? She goes crazy. She remembers everything, and she talks about how she killed the Avengers. And we get a little backstory on it, on how it was the worst day in Avengers history. The Scarlet Witch suffered a total nervous breakdown after losing control of her reality-altering powers. In the chaos around the breakdown, beloved Avengers Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and Vision lost their lives. Many other Avengers were hurt and both emotionally and physically. And it was 6 months ago. Um, I should note that the Ant-Man we're talking about here is Scott Lang and not Hank Pym. But yeah, she goes nuts. She uses her powers and a bunch of Avengers die. And we get back to a conversation consisting of Magneto and Professor X, where Magneto basically just talks about how he loves Wanda and how he had his plans to take over the world, and he knew it would require sacrifices, but he couldn't imagine it would come down to all of this. And Professor X says we got to go to New York and talk to the big guys and see what's gonna happen, how we're gonna plan on dealing with Wanda. And so everyone, all the big Avengers, get invited by Professor X and by the rest of the core Avengers team to talk about how they're gonna do it. And we have I guess side characters here. They're big name Avengers here. We got Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, or
AKA
Ms. Marvel.
OP for no reason.
Ms. Marvel. This here is Simon Williams, aka Wonder Man, and Sam Wilson, the Falcon. Yep.
Yeah.
Addicts. All right, addicts. You wanna? No, hold on. I want to save it for a much more prominent character. Okay, I wanna wait a little bit for this. But yeah, they headed to they headed to Avengers Tower, and the X-Men do the same thing. They head up to Avengers Tower. Here's the core Avengers roster consisting of Beast, Emma Frost, Cyclops, Wolverine, Kitty Pryde, and Colossus. They meet up with the main Avengers team. Addicts, right now, I'll give you a gifted sub right now if you can name every member on this team.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, all right.
Left
Starting from the left.
Starting from the left. Yep.
Beast.
Oh no. Sorry. The Avengers team, not the X-Men team, bro. I know you can name those guys. I just named them.
You got to be more specific.
The Avengers team right here.
All right, I'm kind of blind.
Sorry. I will.
All right.
Zoom.
So starting from the left, Thor,
Starting from
Captain America.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Captain America.
Yeah.
I want to say Photon,
Okay.
but I could be wrong there.
Okay.
Captain Marvel.
Mhm.
Wonder Man.
Yep.
Professor X, obviously.
Yep.
Doctor Strange. Iron Man. Spider-Man.
Yeah. This guy right here.
Mm.
Only African American character we've seen so far, besides this guy.
I know him. But I just can't put my finger on
I'll give you a hint. It's the same as this guy.
That's the Falcon?
Yep, that's the Falcon.
Okay. Mystique. For some reason.
Mystique? Mystique?
Wait.
Mystique?
That's not Mystique.
Yeah.
Gamora?
No, okay. Closer. This is the guy I told you I wanted you to do, but anyway.
Dude, I have no idea who that is.
Can you guess the last two?
And I guess that last one on the right is Adam Warlock. But
okay. You got a couple of them wrong. This is not Thor. This is Yellow Jacket. This is Hank Pym. The Wasp, not Photon. You got everybody here right. Not Gamora, but She-Hulk, Luke Cage, and the Sentry. It was close. Unfortunate, but it was close.
What?
A valid attempt. But here's Professor X talking about how he made a special trip to talk about an almost impossible matter, the fate of Wanda Maximoff. And back on Genosha, we have Pietro here talking to his dad, aka Addicts, telling him they're gonna kill her. He's like, what's going on? He's like, they're agreeing to kill her. Why else would they meet? They're going to decide. There's no other way, and they're gonna come here and kill her. My own sister, your own daughter. And he's like, they may be right, Pietro. And he vibrates and he shakes real loud, real fast.
My daughter could actually take over the United Nations.
She could do more than take over the United Nations, but yeah, yes. And he's like, I can't hear you. And he's like, you sort of protect. I swore on my life to protect her, first from you and now from them. The Avengers were our family, and now they're gonna kill her. And you agree? And he's like, what would you have me do? And he's like, they're gonna kill her. And he's like, what would you have me do? And he breaks down and starts crying. Anyway, back to exactly. Back to the Avengers. Here's Emma talking about we gotta put her down, telling her they gotta put her down, and he's like, I won't even entertain her. And he's like, put her down. What is she, a dog? And then here's Wolverine. Is like, even though they just spent 20 minutes explaining that the girl's out to lunch and that the world is every kind of danger in every kind of danger because of her. He's like, there's always a way. And he's like, I don't know. There's kind of not always a way, but the Avengers are sticking to their guns, and the X-Men are like, we gotta kill her. And here's Professor X is like, if I could, Emma, I wouldn't be having this conversation anyway. So she's like, what about you, Doctor Strange? Is there anything else you could, anything in the mystic arts you could do to help her? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, have you been able to help her so far? Nope. Have you done everything you could possibly do to try? He's like, at the moment, yes. And he's like, anyone else? But he comes in at the last moment. He's like, I'm still searching. I'm still looking. And he's like, Cap's like, it's good enough. We're still working on it. We gotta let the doctor do what he's gotta do. And then Wolverine getting real pissed. He's like, and what if the witch gets bored real time? I've known Chunk a long time. If he says he can't hold her much longer, he can't hold her much longer. Emma wants to vote. The Captain America says no, but and that it's more of an Avengers deal because she is an Avenger. And she's like, we haven't heard from all of them.
She's not an X-Man,
She's an
but she's an
X-woman,
Avenger.
but she's an Avenger. Yeah. Um.
It's just
Yeah.
weird how they place that.
Yeah. She's not an X-Men. She's an Avenger. Yeah. She's like, well, we haven't heard from all of them, so we X-Men have dedicated our lives to dealing with the mutant threat. And here's Wolverine putting in the harsh reality here that someone needs to do the math for me. How many more of you does she have to kill before you you snap out of it? And he's like, so if any of my powers go out, so if any of my powers wig out on me, I can just count on you to kill me. Wolverine's like, yep, and I hope you can count on I can count on you to do the same. Cyclops is kind of like, I can't believe you'd entertain this, and he's like, Professor's like, I don't know what to do here, and so basically they all come up with a plan to wing it when they get to Genosha. That is their brilliant plan because time is running out. They need to act at the moment. They need to act, and so they decide, let's go to Genosha and just wing it. And they do. They land on Genosha. The mutants are like, this is the worst place I've ever been to because this is where all of our family and fellow brethren mutants died to an explosion. Pretext: Sentinels were sent by Master Mold over to Genosha, and they came and basically just pew 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 boof the whole island up. Everybody
Okay.
on it, except for good old Emma Frost. She was the only survivor, and out of the explosion came her diamond form. The explosion caused a second mutation in her, leading to her ability to shapeshift or change her body into diamonds. Um, yeah. Anyway, they get there. They're like, oh, Wanda's bed, but no Wanda. Where Wanda? And he's like, did Magneto move her? And he's like, he took her. She's not on the island. I can't see her. He's like, there's something wrong here, Professor. Do you feel? And he's like, oh, we should leave. We should leave. And he's like, doctor, what can you find with your mystic arc? It's like, he's like, they're like, oh, I don't know, maybe something with magic, sir. And then they turn around, they're like, oh, the guy in the wheelchair is gone. Where did he go? Professor, he was right here. We really should get out of here, you know? And Emma finds them, and they decide to fly over, head on out to where their supposed location of Scarlet Witch is. And they get there, and they're like, "Oh, she's right in here. Last time she was using her powers, she was creating a mystic pattern that I'm not feeling here." And they're like, "Oh, Emma, what are you reading?" He's like, "I have nothing on infrared." Peter's trying to remind everyone that he has a spider sense and it's not going off. And they walk in, and we focus in on Spider-Man here, who walks
Listen,
it.
guys, my power, I'm going to list it, isn't working. Oh, yeah, well, what about your power? It's also not
Not yeah,
working. Oh,
basically.
no.
Oh no, none of our powers are working in discovering where this one person is. So they all walk in, and pew pew, blinding light. And with that, everything decides to change. Nothing is the same. And we have Peter waking up, crying baby. Wife says it's your turn. At the time, Peter's married to MJ. You know, But yeah, no, he wakes up and it's like, oh, look at this, the better girl that he's with. I 100% believe that Gwen Stacy is the better of the, I guess, trio that is Felicia, MJ, and Gwen. Actually, in my opinion, I think MJ is kind of like out of all of them, in my opinion, like bottom tier. You got Felicia, and then you got Gwen. That's my opinion, but anyway, you got Cap over here, Roger Stevens over here, old man Captain America. You got Emma and Scott. They're married. They're talking about how they wanted to do it last night, but she fell asleep, and that she's got to go meet with the little Richards boy today, and the one whose parents were astronauts and died. And if you guys aren't catching the drift, the little Richards boy is Franklin Richards, and the parents are Reed and Sue Richards Storms, whatever. Sue
Yeah.
Richards, yeah, they died in space. No Fantastic Four in this universe. And they go out, and one by one, we find out that everyone's lives have been significantly changed to fit their exact wants and needs. You have Wonder Man here, TPing and spawning in, being a celebrity, and talking to Captain Marvel, and they're like, oh, we gotta ask you, Simon, she's the most popular girl, and they're apparently dating, and he's like, oh, she's only the most popular superhero in America, and she's not even, well, she's not even like and they all talk, and here you got Gambit. He made a big robbery. He part of the thieves guild, so he be robbing them banks, and he throws his cards at her, and she tackles him, breaks down the card, trashes him, throws him over to a park, and he says this in French, which roughly translates to, I cannot speak French, but my mom does. Um, don't touch me, you sapien. If you can't already understand this, in this world, the roles are reversed to where mutants, as you can see here, are not outcasts, are actually, willing to live out on the wild, and the humans, got a little Goku shirt here. Look at the little Goku here. Are the yeah, that's the only reason I put this in is because she got a Goku shirt. But humans here are the outcasts, as this guy's chucking a paper ball at her, and this guy's grossed out by a normal looking person. We got Miss Pride here, Kitty Pride, one of my favorite X-Men characters. In Cincinnati, she's a school teacher. Yep, and talking about who the first mutant is, Namor. And here we go, Addicts. What I wanted to do with you, but we have we have two characters meeting in Hell's Kitchen, right? We got this guy's like, all right, Addicts, you can start reading if you want.
What can I do for you?
Oh God, Addicts, come on, bro. You, Luke Cage. Come on, come on, come on.
Why are you asking questions you already know the answers to? It's insulting to the both of us. Who are you, brother?
Detective Sam Wilson. Sorry, I'm trying to get into like that like deep dark like Reese kind of voice, but how does what feel?
Come on, putting a sapien brother in Hell's Kitchen. You don't feel like you don't feel a bit used by the system.
God. What do you know about what happened to Wilson Fisk last night? Someone beat him into a coma.
This is Forever Did It.
You're gonna do the. Anyway,
I did the three claps.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. I don't think it caught in stream, but I did it for you. But anyway, we of course turn to psychiatrist here, Doctor Strange, talking to his patient about how something happened with his mutant powers, and he went all like dark on them. I actually can't tell who this is. His name's Robert, but I was thinking it was like Robert Drake, but then he uses his powers and it's all like dark and stuff, so it's definitely not Iceman. Here we have Colossus in Russia. Just all he's doing is on a farm plowing the field. I don't know how that would be the greatest thing he's ever wanted, but hey man, to each their own. And we we turn to
Colossus is a farming simulator player.
farming sim, yeah, for real, pro farming simulator player. and and we turn to Hank Pym and Hank McCoy, who I will just say is the Yellow Jacket and Beast. Funny enough, they got the same colors going on, the yellow and the blue. But they're basically talking about how they work for Tony Stark, and Hank here, or Yellow Jacket, created or
So Wanda essentially just did what she did in WandaVision and just made a new reality.
she made a new reality, but it's one in which everyone is happy with the outcome. So you have
But they just have like no idea about their
yep, no
previous
no
lives.
one remembers anything of what happens. It's just like WandaVision, no one has any memory of what's going on, and but everyone is happy. They're living the life that they've always dreamed and wanted to have. And here's the Yellow Jacket talking. They're both scientists working for Tony Stark, right? There's a big stigma with scientists in Marvel. The scientists that get funded become superheroes, and the scientists that don't get funded become
Become
supervillains.
villains.
Yep. So like Doc Ock, right? Supervillain, not poor funding, but on the flip side, you have Dr. Pym, Ant-Man, right? Funding versus no funding, and they're both, they're happy. They're working together to for someone that's willing to pay them, Tony Stark, and Hank here, he's working on whatever project he's working on, but he's advising, he's like consulting over everyone, and Yellow Jacket here is like, I have a way. I think I've found a way to get rid of the mutant X gene, and they're talking about it. They're like, you can't really expect, this is not something he wants you to do. You can't expect him to pay your bills when when you're doing something he clearly tells you not to do, you know. And he's like it's like trying to isolate the one thing that makes people black or Filipino. You're getting rid of a whole people's way of life. It's gonna come out as like really bad, right? And they walk out. He's like, all right, I'll do something else, I guess. They're like talking, and they go to lunch. And back in France here, we have Janet the Wasp, and she's a model, or like a what is it? What are those people called? Like the fashion designers. And here's Storm, Queen of Air, Queen of Kenya, clearly. She is getting a gown ready because she is getting ready for the House of Magnus
Clickbait.
event. Yep, clickbait one of many, because this one had so much. But yeah, she's she's getting ready to arrive at the House of Magnus, and she has the Wakandan fabrics put into the clothing. But this is where we come to the one difference that is, well, the one singularity that causes things to go different, and it's Wolverine. Wolverine remembers everything, right? He remembers himself waking up out of that vat of acid and claws coming out. And here's the redhead here. She's like, "Oh, good morning, James." And he grabs her, pins her down, grabs her by the neck, and chokes her. And it ends up being Mystique. He's like, "Oh, you didn't mind it last night. It's your redhead fetish." Wolverine has a redhead fetish confirmed. And so Wolverine knows something's wrong. He rushes past the room, past all the guards, which includes his team. His team is Rogue, Toad, and Nightcrawler, as well as another agent, Agent Drew, who is Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman. And they all head outside where he sees this, right? He is the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and S.H.I.E.L.D. basically works for Magneto, sort of, right?
Um.
Yeah. I mean, I think with this, you can definitely take over the UN. I mean, it should be real. You got a whole Sentinel. I mean, I think one of these bad boys is
But
enough
at
to
this point,
stump
I'm
them.
a good guy.
Yeah, you're not really looking for it, or are you? Are you the good guy? We don't know this yet, addicts. Remember. Anyway,
Uh,
we don't. I know you read it, but let's take a deep breath, a step back. All right.
but I want to take over the United
And you
Nations.
can. You can. Except this time you're a leader of
But
your
except
own nation.
this time I'm just boring.
You're
I just
boring.
have everything.
You just have everything you've ever wanted, an entire nation to yourself, and mutant kind being the dominant species. Yes, you're so boring. Oh, I love not being hunted and persecuted for my abilities. Oh, what a boring life. Any- Anyway, Wolverine's talking about how he remembers.
I'm an agent of chaos, Micro. I want
He
chaos.
wants war. Anyway, Wolverine here is talking about how he remembers his whole life, everything, and Mystique's confused. She's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, what did we do yesterday? What happened in Genosha?" She's like, "I don't know. I haven't seen the papers. Anything happened to Lord Magnus?" And he's like, "Oh my God!" And dude just chucks it out of a freaking helicarrier down into a New York building. Look, he just dive bombs, boof, blows up into a to the side of a skyscraper, and here he is, look his crusty ass, broken nails, blood everywhere, crawling up. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" And he noticed things are off. People are celebrating Spider-Man. They don't see
Uh,
him as the menace that
oh.
he is. And here's this big magazine cover. It's actually really great the way they do it. They have like different like sections, and they talk about like the House of M party that's coming up, the big M Magnus big day. They're gathering for the pay tributes to the world leaders. Talking about Captain Marvel and how she's the big famous superhero, but she's a human, like a normal sapien. And they have one they have one on Kazar the Savage. If you guys want, I can cover Kazar. And Zabu. The Kazar being the like savage primitive man, and Zabu are like living in the Savage Lands up in Antarctica, and Zabu being his pet saber-toothed tiger. And they're talking about how how they're like domesticated here and living amongst like normal people, but Zabu like Kazar is still not wearing shirts or pants. He's just like he's domesticated, but just has like a piece of like cloth made of like banana leaves over his like junk, and just walking around like stroking it pretty much like like shirtless, pantsless, and everything, just walking around. It's hilarious. Anyway, Wolverine lands. He gets all good, and he's like, I gotta borrow your bike real quick. And guy's like, he's like, oh, go straight to Wolverine. Donks him, takes the bike, leaves him dead on the ground or just knocked out, and drives off. And he books it. Dude books it. Where do you think? Where do you think, Addicts? Where do you think's the first place he's gonna book it to?
He's booking into Xavier's mansion.
You read it, you bastard. When I scroll down, but yes, he books it to Xavier's mansion, and he's like, oh, where's Charles Xavier? He gets over to this dude who's just knocked out, and he's like, oh, I don't know who that is. I think you have the wrong house. And he threatens him. He's like, how long have you owned this house? Basically, he's like, oh, 15 years. Please leave me and my family. Oh. And Wolverine walks out. He goes to the nearest phone booth. It's 2005, guys. Phone booths are a thing. And he's talking. He's trying to get a line, trying to like figure out where like there's a thing where you dial people and like missing people, trying to figure out where they are in the world. And he's like, oh,
Then he goes up to Magneto and he's like, Magneto! And Magneto's like, yes. Can I help you?
can I help
just,
you?
just all sweet and kind and
All nice and good. But yeah, he's trying to basically figure out where everybody is. So he's like, "Oh, where's Professor Xavier?" He's like, "Oh, can I get a a location, like a general location? I can see if I can narrow it down for you." He's like, "Oh, Westchester County." He's like, "Nope, sorry, sir, can't find anyone there." He's like, "New listing. How about Peter Parker?" And he's like, "The fan club? What? Question mark?" They're like, "What the hell's going on?" And while that's going on, this little normal girl is being harassed by these guys, and Wolverine pulls out the claws and deals with them. But anyway, he goes when he beats the crap out of them, he heads back to the big city to find Iron Man. He's like, oh, how can I help? Welcome to Stark Tower. How can I help? He's like, Tony Stark. She's like, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, just tell him. Just like, he doesn't actually live in the city. He just owns a building here. And here's Agent Drew. Tell him, like, you got boss wants you brought back in any which way. And here's the team that he has: Rogue, Toad, uh, Nightcrawler, Jessica Drew, Spider Woman, and Mystique down here. Alex, you wanna do the lines here? I actually kind of wanna I kind of wanna see how you would say this line from Rogue here.
which one?
This one right here.
You scared the crap out of us, Summer.
It's more of a southern accent, so it's you scared the crap out of us, sugar. Kind of like I
You
don't know.
scared the
I'm
crap out
I'm
of
more
us,
like
sugar.
yeah, I'm more of a toad there. It sounds more like toad there than we sound a little more like Toad there than Rogue, but if you guys have seen the 90s cartoon, you'll know exactly how this sounds. Um, anyway, they try to bring her in, and they're like, ah, you got a tracker, you know that, just did pop a switch, and Wolverine just books it. Wolverine's like, I ain't got time to deal with this. He starts running, and Nightcrawler, Toad wraps his. This by the way, this little line, thin line right here. If you guys can hopefully see this. this little thin line right here that goes all the way around to here. This is Toad's tongue. Goes all the way around like the
Beautiful.
Toad's tongue here, trying to catch Wolverine. Wolverine just books it basically, breaks from out of his tongue, and Nightcrawler starts like TPing over, bamfing all over the place, leaving his sulfuric acid everywhere. And he basically lunges at Wolverine, trying to grab him, but he basically just pulls "Get down, Mr. President," and takes 3 arrows to the chest before Wolverine gets on his motorcycle and pops like a sick air trick, like you know. But he lands right into the path of one Cloak, Mr. Cloak, and he lands into the path of Luke Cage. Can you you wanna you wanna
Oh yeah, no chance.
anyway, anyway, he's like, oh, you gotta tell me what's going on. Love to tell you, but you gotta take that tracker out. And he's like, Hawkeye's here, like, you gotta do it. And he's like, oh, I need you to calm everyone down so I can explain. And Hawkeye he's not having it. So he pulls the arrow, shoots the little tracer out of his neck, and just blatantly murders Wolverine there. But Wolverine being Wolverine, he gets up and he's like, I'm done taking chances with these mutants. We need to, and it's like, oh yeah, this lady over here just like, oh, we gotta. Well, I don't think he's getting up, guys, and he's like, he's fully awake. I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you see the people here? Is this a good image? Can you see? Do
Hmm.
you think you can name at least everybody up to here? The first four characters here?
No.
No? Not even gonna give it a try?
Nope.
Ah, alright. Well, in case you guys did want to know, it's Misty Knight here. I'm pretty sure I can try and go all the way, but this is Misty Knight. This here is Moon Knight, Mark Spector. This back here is Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. Luke Cage, and that back. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is Danny Rand, and this is Mark Spector's Moon Knight. I can't actually tell who this is. Face is kind of hard to see. I can tell this guy because of the hairstyle. This is Iron Fist. Kind of hard. Thank you. I do know how much of a cutie I am. But anyway, back to this. We head back to Wolverine. He's like, oh, he's awake. He's like, how the hell are you still alive? He's
Oh,
like, how long was
you're
I out?
finally awake.
Yeah. Oh, you're awake. And and insert Skyrim. Anyway, he asks how long he's been out. She's like, oh, about 30 seconds. He's like, it's too late. If you guys wanted to talk to me, you should have yanked that tracer out of the back of my neck before you brought me here. And then a bunch of freaking sentinels pop in. Sapiens identity targets identified. And they start pretty much just breaking up the place. And so Ty does the only thing he can do and teleports everybody. Look, boop, boop. Here's his cloak, teleporting everybody out. Saying he pretty much grabbed as many people as he could. Wolverine booked it and grabbed this girl, which, by the way, play of the game. I'm no cap. This was the play. He grabbed the little girl here, and Ty's like, oh, I grabbed Uptown. It's the only thing I could think of. It's the Kingpin's office. After we all know he got beaten to death, and that's the only place I knew was empty. And she's like, guys, you can see Hulk's kitchen from here, and it's this giant explosion. He's like, we didn't make it. I grabbed as many as I could, right? And he's pretty much trying to see, like, he's like, hey Luke, what do you think is going on here? And he's like, what do you think is going on here? He's like, I know exactly what's going on, but you won't believe me if I did. He's like, you gotta try me. And he's like, you don't remember that we're both Avengers? He's like, what's an Avenger? And Wolverine is basically like, this means nothing to you, but basically, you don't remember that we were all Avengers members together, and that we lived in a world where the mutants were the minority, and the X-Men worked to build a peaceful coexistence between the two. Um, Now that I think of it, there's a good chance that he might really not be right in the head. But while he's here, one of the biggest problems that the X-Men faced was Magneto. Um, and he's like, he has a couple of kids. He's like, yep, we know who that is. Wanda, the human one. And Wolverine's like, what? Yep, he's like, Pietro, Lorna, and Wanda. Wanda's the human one. And everyone's kind of like, oh, what the hell? Wanda's human, or well, mostly Wolverine's kind of like that. He's like, oh, what's going? Why is Wanda the human one? She's the one that can alter reality, right? And and basically he's like, Wanda, she lost control of her mind not too long ago and killed a bunch of good people. She was an Avenger, and Luke's like, was she like me? He's like, no, she was one of the original ones, the old ones. She's the reason the old ones stopped being Avengers. She went nuts and or something and attacked her own team, killed them. 2 days ago, the X-Men and the Avengers got together to figure out what to do with her. Um, and he's like, basically, Magneto turned himself from an exiled mass murderer to the king of the world. And there's no X-Men, there's no Avengers, and the mutant race, the mutants run the damn place like run the place like it's a damn utopia. And I got you of all people sticking arrows in the back of mine. He's like, what about me? How was the world before? How was I? What was I before the world went white? And he's like, oh, you're dead. You're Clint Barton, Hawkeye. The witch killed you months ago. And he's like, oh, people aren't believing. They're like, this has to be some kind of mutant trick to get us to come out of hiding and, capture us, bring us in. And he's like, what kind of trick, Felicia? They had us. And he's like, yep, I got a kid. I got a kid coming. That's what I saw. And he's like, that's right. You and Jessica Jones. And he's like, and what the hell are you, Moon Knight over here, Iron Fist? And what are you guys supposed to be? He's like, we're just trying to keep the balance from the balance from the underground. And he's like, yep, that sounds like something you would do. And he's like, Iron Fist over here is like, you know us. And he's like, yep, you're Iron Fist. Um, and Luke Cage basically just believes him because he explains what's going on, and basically Luke's like, yep, I believe you because of this girl here. And he's like, I don't, she didn't know what happened, how it happened, or what happened, but um, or she didn't know how it happened, but she knew it happened in detail. The little girl Layla that he had saved, and he's like, oh, yep. When I woke up, everything was all, everything. Yep. I mean, I woke up and everything was all, I thought I was crazy, but my parents were the same, but everything else was like, what's going on? And he's like, am I crazy? And he's like, nope. If you are, then we both are. But basically, they're, just talking like, how do you think, hey, Furball, why do you think you and her of all people remember the world? And he's like, Magneto's got this daughter. Magneto got his daughter to give us all what we've wanted, so we could have what we always wanted. And basically, pretty much, they're like, we gotta go. We gotta find everybody. And they head to Hartford, Connecticut, where we find the first of many. Um, and they're like, oh, whose house is this? It's Cyclops and Emma. And he's like, you ready to change the world, kid? He's like, just do what you did to Luke Cage, to Emma Frost. And Emma walks in. And she's like, oh, you trying to rob me? Yeah, don't answer. That's me telling your brain to do what I want. And she tries to read the little girl's mind. And when she does, pew, 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 she remembers everything. The fact that she was, her age, her school age, the fact that she was a brotherhood, this clickbait image that I wanted to put up. Yeah, I got it. And Charles, and when she wakes up, she's like, oh, Logan, you fucking with me? She's like, they're like, oh, who's this? What's going on? This is Emma Frost. She's like, House of Magnus, House of Magnus. If you guys want to know what House of M stands for, House of Magnus. Or some people also think it's House of Maximoff because Wanda's the
Yeah.
true mastermind behind it. But anyway, Logan, we're gonna go get Magneto. We're gonna kill him and his kids. And he's like, yeah, I'm with you, but we're gonna need a lot more than just us. And even if we do, that still doesn't mean the whole damn world ain't screwed for good. And so they wait. Cyclops walks in. He's like, "Hi, honey," and he's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And she just like, "Boop," hits him with the thingy, with the mind thingy, and he throws up, blarp, out of his ears, vomit out of his ears, basically.
That's
And
weird, but all
yeah,
right.
and they try to go on a spree to help others, and they start with Spider-Man. So he's Peter Parker. He's like, "Can I help you?" He's like, "Sorry," and they make him remember everything: the spider bite, the changing, him getting married to Aunt May, all of the villains that he fought, Jameson, um, or sorry, did I say him getting married to May? I meant MJ and then May, and then here's the big thing that he remembers is the snap of what's her face's neck, Gwen Stacy's neck, and Peter just breaks down. He swings away, runs off, and Gwen gets like upset. She runs over to him. She's like, "What the hell's wrong with you? What's going on? What did you do to my husband?" And was like, "Oh, go play in the park," and with her uses her mind powers, and what's her face turns around and walks away. And we turn back to Spider-Man. He's like, "Oh, you gotta go. One of us has to go talk to him." Wolverine having the best connection to Spider-Man, goes and talks to him. Is like, Peter's crying down here. He's like, tell me it's a trick. Tell me it's Mysterio, some hallucination that he pulled out of his. He's like, I have a son. He's like, come on, we have things to do. He's like, this wasn't in the brochure. You get your superpowers, but this wasn't in the brochure. Just how much crap am I supposed to take? And he's like, and it's so bad. What happened is so bad. Logan, I swear to God, I think I'm gonna kill him. Magneto, his stupid daughter, I'm gonna kill him with my bare hands. I'm not gonna be able to stop myself. And Wolverine's like, yo, it's enough to make Spider-Man kill people. Like Spider-Man can't lift up Mjolnir because he doesn't have the will to kill people. Like
Mm.
Spider-Man is the most like non-kill person in all of Marvel, and in just the snap of a finger, those spoken words that what's her face said caused him to like 180. Like I'm gonna murder them, and they go on their spree. They go to Ohio, knock out Kitty Pryde. They go to Greenwich Village, knock out Doctor Strange. Washington D.C., knock out Captain Marvel. Chicago, where Iron Man is, they knock him out. Hell's Kitchen, where they got the two big lawyers, She-Hulk and Matt Murdock's Daredevil, and they go to the Bronx, and they're like, yeah, he's kind of like 100 years old and never got frozen. Think we're good on this one. I don't think we're gonna need him for this one, Chief. And they all the heroes, they go back to their this undisclosed location where they're like, oh, Magneto convinced or forced his mentally ill daughter to turn the world into his own image, or something close enough where he would be pacified and happy, content to live the Magneto's dream. And Xavier's the only psychic powerful enough to do this, the only one with Cerebro's technology. And he's gone missing. He's missing, gone, never existed. And their undisclosed location doesn't last very long as Wolverine's team comes back. But after the fastest skirmish ever, they all just get changed, and Rogue decides to basically touch Layla, and the same thing happens. She's like, "What are you? She ain't human." Um, and they all turn. They all recuperate. They're like, "All right, what's the plan?" And he's like, "We go to Magneto. Guarantee he knows exactly where Xavier is." And while that's all happening, clickbait part two. Um, you got you got Lorna talking to Magneto, basically like, oh, I just wanted to let you know that the guests are coming. Victor Von Doom will be here in half an hour, and we find out that Xavier's kind of like dead. Basically, he
Yep.
died so Genosha could live. Is what it says there. He's not actually living there. They're kind of like, Anyway, they use the like security passes of Jessica Drew Spider Woman to get on board the helicarrier, and while they're on the command deck, Emma basically talks to the like Captain Greycrow, the like general, and he's like, "We're heading out to Genosha." And they're like, "Yes, sir." And on Genosha, you have Victor meeting up with Magneto. The two meet up and they shake hands. They're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And while the helicarrier is heading to Genosha, you have pretty much Luke Cage and Spider-Man just talking, trying to like get a listing to Jessica Jones here, and he's like, "Oh, listing Jessica Jones with City, Manhattan. One moment we have one in Queens," and he calls her, and he's like, "This is Jessica," and he's like, and he's like, "Ah, and Scott, leave a message," and he gets bamboozled. He basically in this life he isn't with Jessica, and their kid is probably with this Scott dude, whoever Scott is, and
Scott Lang.
I don't know, it's just Scott. Could be Scott Malkinson with a lisp and diabetes, for all we know.
Scott Maxton, he has diabetes.
And anyway, he's like, oh, I just don't know why I just did that, but did you try to get a hold of MJ and he's like, and tell her what? He's like, it doesn't mean that she'd be less successful if you were with her. And he's like, oh yeah, because in this reality I wasn't with her and she's a big celebrity, and in the other reality I'm with her and she's not. And basically Cyclops just like, all right, everybody, we got to reconvene. So what I'm saying here is, whatever restraint or personal boundaries you usually put on yourselves, in the name of good or right, well, I think there's no place for that here in the fight. In the fight we have in front of us, we can't lose this. We have to win, and to do that, you're all going to have to fight without any restraint. and he basically hits us with the three teams thing, but they all start and they're like, wait. I'm sorry, I don't wanna. I want to know, are we going back to are we gonna try to put the world back together, or is it too late? And they're like, we know, we'll know when we get there. And then Jessica's like, oh, and who's exactly hurt here? Who's being hurt here exactly? We got exactly what we wanted, right? Magneto got what he wanted, but so did we. Isn't it kind of like a wash? Isn't this like a way to get everything we've ever wanted? And after this discussion, they all, whether it's right or wrong, they all vow to, like, we may be right or wrong. Whether it's right or wrong, we have a duty to put everything back together the way it was. And everyone, they get together in three teams and they go to Genosha. Here's the Prince of Wakanda, or
So,
King of Wakanda, T'Challa. Yeah, what's up?
if you were in this situation, Micro, would
Uh,
you fight to get everything put back to the way it was, or
I'd be more on Jessica's side here. I mean, like, I'd fight for sure, yeah, but I mean, if you're getting everything you've ever wanted, I mean, it can't
you
be
know?
that bad, right? It can't be that bad. He's literally giving you
Just
everything
have
you've
Magneto
ever
rule in the
wanted.
world. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's meant to be, guys.
Magneto finally got the United Nations, and everybody gets exactly what they
For
want.
real. It's
See, give me the
destiny.
United Nations, everybody
Everybody
wins.
wins, yeah. The only thing missing is that Magneto there doesn't have the cosmic calculator. I'm sure that's the one thing missing there, but guarantee you, it's how he did it. Forget Wanda. He used the cosmic calculator. Uh, anyway, they get there and they're like, the primary goal here is to find Charles Xavier if he's still with us, and for Emma and Layla to get here to get him in front to use his powers and basically wake him up, do the same green stuff that they did for everybody. And Cloak's job is to teleport everybody. Here's Victor Von Doom strolling into the place, and while that's going on, Doctor Strange, he's had some luck trying to get to Wanda, and he has to do the same thing. Hopefully, you know, trying to you know touch on her one on one. And Doctor Strange's like, "Yep, I'll do that. I'll get into my astral projection and talk to her one on one like that." Storm and Namor arrive afterwards to the party, and finally, the main team, which is basically everybody that isn't Emma, Layla, Cloak, and Doctor Strange, are going to keep the House of Magnus occupied, as they say. And here it is. Um, you got Quicksilver, you got Scarlet Witch, Magneto, and um, Lauren. What's her name? Fuck. Polaris, and our kids, Billy and Tommy. Can't tell which one's which because they're twins. But in case you guys want to know, this isn't actually them, but a clone imaging of them. The two of them are actually in a different location, or three of them. Um, and while they take their seats, the Sentinels basically are just like humans detected, and they burst in trying to attack. Magneto and Polaris, they both have magnetic shifting powers. Use their abilities to dismantle the Sentinel here, and the heroes take advantage of that and burst into the fight. Meanwhile, you have Emma and Layla and Cloak there, and they immediately find out that he's dead, and there's not even a body underneath that, like, they could try to revive. It's just, he's gone, no body, no nothing, just dirt. And Cloak's like, we gotta look at Cloak's eyes. My God, bro, they're like so bloodshot. They're like, it's literally just like a dot there, bro, like bloodshot like crazy. Anyway, here's the skirmish that everyone's going off. It's so hectic. You got Cyclops shooting a beam here. You got She-Hulk over there like doofing someone over there. Gambit's over here. I'm pretty sure this is Gambit if I'm not mistaken. Wolverine's over here. They're all just fighting. And Peach was like, "Oh, you gotta get Wanda out of here and go find where her father landed." And Quicksilver's just running. He's like, "What have you done to my sister?" They're running around. And Doctor Strange in his astral form is like, Nightcrawler, you gotta watch our backs. Or I'm sorry, Cyclops says it. And he's like, I am, but there's a lot of backs to watch. And Doctor Strange immediately heads towards Wanda, and he's like, "Oh, he's like, how are you? I was scared we lost you. Your body seemed to fall apart down there." And he's like, "Oh, that wasn't my body. I don't leave my children alone. That body was something for my father to show off on occasions." And he's like, "So what brought you here? You created young Layla Miller to bring us here." She's like, "Did you create your father as well? I heard rumors of his death last year and some somewhat puzzling rebirth before all this came to be. I wonder what that was, Will. How long have you been playing with the world? He's like, don't you know that our friends are fighting over your father right outside? And she's like, oh, well, sweetie, the purpose of all this was that there would be no more fighting, but no matter what I do, there's always gonna be fighting. I don't understand people really. And little kid over here is like, he said we could all be happy. Basically, they're like, what really went down that caused all of this to happen? And we get that glimpse back at the very beginning. And just when that ends, when he tells like, "What would you have me do?" He leaves, and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't respond well. Don't be mad. But when they do, I'm not gonna fight them. I'm just gonna let them kill me." And he's like, "I'll take you from here." And he's like, "They'll follow. I'll I'll fight for you. I won't let them take you again." She's like, "It's over. This should have ended months ago." He's like, "No, we never had a chance. Magneto chose the mutant race over us. We were just little kids, and he abandoned us." He's like, "We could take it back. You could make everyone happy." And it's plot twist here. It wasn't really Magneto. It was Quicksilver, and he's like, "What if I was there to help you? You and I together, and Xavier's mind inside of you, your powers as they are now, you can use his powers and yours together. And in an instant, not only could we have what we deserve, you could give it to our friends, and father could have everything he ever dreamed of. We could finally be a family." She's like, "No, I can't. If they'd all be happy, they wouldn't bother us anymore. We became the reason we became the Avengers was to change things for the better. You can change things here for the better permanently without even fighting. You can make everyone happy. Anyone you've ever loved happy." He's like, "Yeah, damn, it wasn't Magneto." And he's like, "And if you don't, Wanda, they'll kill you, and we'll never be together again." And he's like, "Oh, it's Pietro, Quicksilver here." And they're like, "Where's Charles Xavier?" And in that moment, boof, Wanda gets hit in the back with an arrow. And while this is going down, out of the bushes comes comes Magneto. He's like, "Oh, who are you, and why are you attacking my family?" And in that instance, Emma and Layla mind warp Magneto, showing him the truth. And they're like, "Oh, Clint
Oh,
Barton."
you're getting
Oh
addicts
yeah,
back.
you're getting normal addicts, not mind controlled, hallucinated addicts, thinking he thinking he's done justice and conquered the world. No, no, addicts over here, and knows that it was given to him. And it's like, "Oh, why did? Yeah, you didn't take over the UN. You know you didn't get what you wanted. Your daughter gave it to you." And she's like, "Oh, Clint,
Oh, we can't have that.
we can't have that." And basically she's like, "Oh, Clint, why did you do that?" And he's like, "Why? You're asking me why?" And he's like, "Why are you mad at me?" And Doctor Strange is trying to defuse the situation. He's like, "It's not the time." It's like, "Am I mad at you? Mad don't cover it. But I was hoping if I couldn't kill you for all the shit you've done, I thought at least I'd snap you out of your crazy." It's like, "We were friends, Wanda, teammates. I truly loved you." And she's like, "Oh, I love you too." And he's like, "Then why'd you kill me? I brought you back." She's like, "Why'd you do this?" And she just disintegrates the crap out of Hawkeye. Like, just poof.
Him again.
Yep, dead again. And he's like, "Oh, Wanda, listen to me." And everyone on the fight's like, "Oh, watch out for a quick Pietro. Pew, pew, pew." And just as he's fighting, he gets stopped. His body stops, warped by a magnetic field. And he's like, "What have you done in my name, boy?" And he's like, "You're." Do you think I did a good impression of you there? Good impression.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, little bit of God of War there, boy. uh, we
That
were,
wouldn't be me. What have you done in my name, boy?
yeah, you were gonna let them kill her. Oh, I thought you were gonna keep going with this. Anyway, this is like, "Oh, you used her and you used me. I would never have allowed this." It's like, "You've destroyed everything and everyone, and you used my name. What right? What right?" And at that very moment, with all the debris and iron and junk being thrown at Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch snaps. She's like, "No, brother," and she basically holds Magneto still. It's like, "Wanda, you shall," and she lands down, goes to Quicksilver, helps him up. He's like, he only wanted you to be happy. Look what you've done. Pietro was right. You ruined us before we even had the chance. Why would you treat your own children this way? Babies, why?" And he's like, "Because you actually think you're better than everyone else. Your arrogance of you, because you you think because we're mutants we're better than them that we deserve to rule. That that's what you wanted, and I gave it to you. But look what it becomes. It's like even when you get what you want, you're still this horrible man. You're you're not the next step. We're not gods. We're freaks. Look at us, daddy. We're freaks, mutants. You chose this over us, and you ruined us. And at this moment, in it comes Addicts. Do you want to say the lines?
You can say it.
No more mutants. Boof. All the stuff that happens. She alters reality again, wiping everything clean. Doctor Strange barely casts his spell to get out of it, and in the end, Earth is being pulled in, and we get back to the main universe where we wake up with Peter Parker. Over here, he's like, oh, and he's with MJ, not with Gwen. He's like, oh, I got a headache. She's like, oh, you try not to get hit with a metallic octopus arm so much, and you wouldn't have a headache. And they head back to the Avengers Tower, and it's like 1 minute we were in Genosha, and the next I'm tucked in my bed. He's like, I'm a little confused. I was just here, and then I remember what. It's like, anyone else feel like screaming, basically, and then they're like, who called this meeting? How are we here? And he's like, Iron Man, do you remember I don't, Iron Man, you don't remember either. And he's like, remember what? And everything is back to normal now. Everything seems right, but Doctor Strange tells him nothing. It's not. Nothing is right. And we hear screaming back at the X Mansion. Emma's got a bloody nose. It's like, oh no, what's going on? Somebody help, please! And Emma runs in, and it's like, Emma, the students. It's like, no, no more mutants. She said no more mutants, and she's like, you know, she fainted. Basically, like, stuff is going down. Everyone's panicking, and he's like, Kurt, are you okay? He's like, what's going on here? Um, like, where were you? What's going on? And we turn. Is this Ileana? This kind of looks like Ileana. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of might be. Anyway, and no more mutants. He's like, I still have my powers, but maybe, oh no, Logan, if he loses his abilities, the adamantium in his skeleton, it could hurt him. And they go and we turn to Wolverine. He's like, I remember my whole life. I remember all of it. His memories have come back, every last bit of it. And we turn back to Emma running into Cerebra, which isn't Cerebro. It's like a newer, updated version of it. And she uses it, and she's like, I'm telling you, it's on full power, but I can't sense any of the mutants on this planet. Like, there were tens of thousands, a million maybe, not anymore. They're all dead. Not, no, not as far as I can tell. He's like, oh,
Except for the ones with plot armor.
except for the ones with plot armor. He's like, are they all dead? He's like, no, not as far as I can tell. Just not mutants anymore. They've all lost their powers. This actually leads to a lot of crazy stuff. There was a lot, like, if you really think about it, mutants who had like major powers that lost it, like characters like Storm and Magneto who could alter the world, or, losing their powers is really hard. But not just that, characters like, if you look at like Archangel or Angel, um, characters that are like flying or whatnot, they lose their powers and they're just like airborne, and then they just dive bomb down, no way of doing anything. And no, this really happens. There's a character. His name is Fly. His superpower is just that he can fly. Um, and when he loses his powers, he goes real like depresso, and walks into the danger room, sets the code to just like a rock on a hill, and jumps. And this dude dies, like falls to his death in the danger room, dead. And it leads to actually, it's a pretty decent run of comics. It eventually leads to that astonishing X-Men run, um which, if I'm not mistaken, is written by Joss Whedon, who directed the first Avengers movie. Um that or Hickman, I don't remember, one of the two. But yeah, it's real good. I have them up in my closet. But anyway, here's Bobby Drake, aka Iceman. He's like, is that it for Iceman? No more ice over the bodies. Like, you can see them like dribbling down as he lost his mutant powers. And it's like, basically the team, the Avengers team, they turn on the news and they're like, what's going on? And they're talking about how the X-Men, their mutants are changing back like spontaneously. People people like the Morlocks and you know whose mutants abilities were similar to that of Beast that you could see on the outside are like you know on the like they're normal now, so they don't have that ability. So they're just kind of like what's going on, what's going on, and and is like so basically we turn to Doctor Strange. Like my duties as Master of the Mystic Arts were simple: protect the world from attacks like this, and I failed completely. And the main Avengers roster decides that they're gonna head to the Avengers Mansion as there was a break-in, and they want to see what's going on. This is the same Avengers Mansion that was wiped by Wanda, and
Mhm.
they find Hawkeye's cloak there with two arrows through it, and the bow and arrows there, and the newspaper talking about how Hawkeye's dead. You got Wanda, Quicksilver, and Hawkeye over here, and it's like, what does this mean? It's like, what does this mean? And Captain America doesn't know. And while this is going on, the X-Men head to Genosha, and they're like, "Where is she?" They're trying to like interrogate him as much as possible, but he's out of it. Addicts ain't feeling right. Addicts, you okay?
Definitely not.
There's a hamster in my bed. Is this the hamster? I got my little Pikachu. Anyway, back to this. Wolverine pins him down. He's like, "I don't know, bro." And he's like, "You lost your power. You lost your metal powers yet?" Yeah. Anyway, he's like, "Nope, I didn't. I didn't lose my powers. I just don't feel like attacking you guys right now." And he's like, "Where's Charles Xavier? I don't know. Where's Pietro? I don't know. Where's your daughter? I don't know." He's not lying. And this is basically end game here. Is like, how many people are we talking about? Tens of thousands of mutants, hundreds of thousands of mutants. You know, it's Isaac Newton's third law of physics. Everyone knows it. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So I'm asking, what's the reaction gonna be? Again, going back to that idea that mutants with world-altering powers, Magneto, who could alter the like physical poles of the Earth, Storm, who could alter like storms, who could change the weather, characters like Iceman, who could literally, if he wanted to, on a whim, just freeze the planet. Um, Characters who've used their powers differently like that. If they've lost their powers, like energy manipulation, things like that, where did all that energy go to? And it's here. This leads to a great astonishing X-Men run. Um, and I don't want to spoil too much, but it's what leads to if anyone does know, it leads to that third relationship that Kitty Pryde has. Kitty Pryde, it's funny with her. Only dates guys by the name of Peter. So of course you look at Pietro Rasputin, Colossus, Pietro Maximoff, Quicksilver, Peter Parker. She's dated Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and her fourth relationship, I should say, um, of one Guardian of the Galaxy, Mr. Star-Lord. But
Will.
yeah, Peter Quill.
Lucky man.
She only dates Peters. If my name were Peter, I would I would I would be a bliss, but it's not.
So how does Wolverine just not lose his powers?
He just got lucky. Just like with that Thanos snap, Wolverine got lucky. Just he the simple answer is plot armor. It's plot armor.
Yeah,
Um because
because he needs to do something
he needs to do
with the plot.
something. Yep. Yep. And Wanda puts everything back the way it is. If you guys do want to know what ends up going on in that astonishing X-Men run, the X-Men are down bad, but they still do their best to try and rebuild that mutant human population. And this goes on up until like this goes on for a while. I'm pretty sure this doesn't end up until the current um like Marvel event that's going on right now with the X-Men, where they basically reboot the X-Men completely from day one. But yeah, this year for the X-Men, this like these couple of decades have been real crap. This was in 2005, and then prior to that,
What
and then
if
what's up?
what if she says no more mutants in Multiverse of Madness?
I I would I would be I would love to see that her do that. The rumors are that certain characters are reprising roles. So
Well, this could be a little bit of a spoiler warning, so go ahead and mute
I'll count you guys
5
down.
seconds. Um, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You've been
It's
warned.
pretty much confirmed. It's pretty much confirmed that Professor X is
Yep.
going to be in this movie.
And so is Sophie Turner's Phoenix. If you guys didn't know, which version of the two, I do not know, but I do know that
And apparently
So
Tom Cruise is Iron
Iron
Man.
Man. Yep, that's also been rumored as well. Tom Cruise as an alternate Iron Man. You have what was rumored to be Chris Evans coming back as both Captain America and the Human Torch.
Yep.
Alternate reality versions of them. And there is leaked images, and I hope to God that it is real, of John Krasinski in a tight blue spandex. Oh, and the little whites across the side of his. I pray to God that
I
they
just
they
want you to
cast
know,
him.
Micro, if I go see that movie and I see motherfucking Magneto appear,
Yeah,
it's the same actor. I always forget his name.
Michael Fassbender or the other guy,
No, just the guy from the X-Men movies,
the original ones or the new one.
like the original.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot his name too. I only know Fassbender.
I mean, even if it's Fassbender.
I would be fine with that. This guy, I forgot his name. Uh, this guy here.
Yep, that
Yep,
this is who I'm thinking about.
old man Magneto. I forgot his name. Uh,
Bro.
yeah,
Oh my god.
Ian
Doctor
McKellen.
Strange and the Yep. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness
I'm
could
so,
just be.
I'm sorry. Can we just take a look here at what this says? If you guys can't read, I'm just gonna Ian McKellen, The Avengers. Oh, I'm assuming probably like the TV show. This makes a little more sense. So I'm just like Ian McKellen as the Avengers? Question mark. But yeah, I would like to see a lot of the newer characters from the last three movies come in. I know Sophie Turner's coming back. So just last little bit before we end off the podcast here, but so I know that Sophie Turner's coming back, and I know that Professor X is coming back. Which version? I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do Sir Patrick Stewart just because how old he is. I'm more thinking they're gonna bring back the younger Fox characters. Just because there's gonna be a little more longevity with that. But I wouldn't be upset either way. The rumors,
I think it is like Sir Michael Fox, whatever you just said.
Sir Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir
I
Patrick
I mean
Stewart.
he is
Yeah.
the iconic role.
I
Um,
think it is him that they said is was on set.
I I wouldn't be upset with either, but
So that's looking like that's pretty much confirmed, my dude.
yep, definitely so. But there's also a lot of other characters reprising roles in other shows. If in case you guys didn't know, um they casted what's her face? I forgot her name. Hold on, let's see. They casted uh oh sorry shit. I forgot it. Extra zero. Ah, they casted Anna Paquin here, girl who played Rogue. She is reprising her role in the Marvels movie. Anna Paquin has reprised her role as Rogue in the Marvels, which is something I'm excited for. If you guys don't know, I can cover Rogue, but just a little quick like on her. Um, Rogue gets her powers because she holds on to Captain Marvel for too long. Rogue's mutant ability is that she can absorb people's powers. In absorbing Captain Marvel, she had all her powers and put her in a coma. That was how she got it in the TV show. I heard rumors of Hugh Jackman reprising his role as Wolverine, saying he wants to come back. There was rumors of this guy, Sean Ashmore, reprising his role as Iceman, and this was I don't know how this is gonna work, but there was rumors of shit, what's her name? I forgot her name. This girl, Janelle Monáe. as this is not a picture for for Twitch, bro. Of course, the one picture I click on has anyway, there's
Clickbait.
clickbait, yeah. Janelle Monáe playing Storm. The rumor, this was the rumor prior to Chadwick Boseman's passing. The rumor was that she would play Storm, and you would have that because there was that whole thing where Lupita Nyong'o's character when they were in Seoul was like, "Oh, I'm the heiress of Kenya," but we all know the heiress of Kenya is Storm, and so there was a whole rumor of them actually bringing in the true heiress of Kenya here, Janelle Monáe, and having her link up with T'Challa, which is how it is in the comics. Storm and the Black Panther are together, but with Chadwick Boseman's passing, it's not 100% confirmed if she's still playing Storm or not. But I really do hope that she is and that they bring her into the limelight. But yeah, that's all the
Yeah, I
rumors that
still
I
don't know
have.
how they're gonna do Black Panther 2, to be
Yeah,
honest.
there's a lot of rumors circling around. A couple of rumors saying that M'Baku's gonna take over as the Black Panther, Shuri taking over as Black Panther. That's how it was in the comics. There was even hints of people saying that um, I don't know if anyone has seen the show, but there's even rumors of them.
I've heard a crazy one. They're gonna bring Michael B. Jordan back from the dead.
There was rumors of that, yeah. But there is. Um, this is not that. Yeah, this one. Yeah, there is rumors of let's see. Let's see. Where let me get a good full picture of the movie. This one? Yeah. This guy? So if you guys haven't seen Heroes of Tomorrow, it's actually a really good movie that where they talk about the Avengers children. Um I will center this for you guys. Ugh. So um this guy right here is Captain America's son, obviously Thor's daughter, Wasp and Ant-Man's son, Hawkeye's child, and this is Storm and the Black Panther's son. I forget his name. But um I forgot his name. Let's see. It's lingering, but they are interested in doing this kid. Azari is his name. He yeah. It would be really nice to see him. Son of Black Panther and Storm. Um, there's the rumors that in the time period of um the Black Panther movie and the where we are now has been a while. 2018, 2017 to 2025 is a big jump. And I'm sure by the time that movie comes out, it'll probably be like 2026, 27. So in Marvel time. So it's a big jump. It's like 10-year jump. So the rumors were that they would talk about um Lupita Nyong'o having given birth to an heir, Azari, and that he would take over and just have a mutation that gives him some sort of control of electricity. I would like to see that. I would be super into it as I think Azari is a great character. I don't know how they do it, but that's just rumors that I've heard. But yeah, that's basically it for the House of M. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Addicts, before we end off
Oh,
here?
that was all the stuff I wanted to add, like
Yep.
all the rumors and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And that's it, you guys. That was all for this week. You guys be sure to tune in next week for the next episode of the Marvel Buddies podcast. Addicts, do you want to rate this comic?
Oh, that's a 10 out of 10,
10
easy.
out of 10. Perfect. Mwah. He loves it. I love it too. I think this is a very underrated, overhated comic. But it's great. And yeah, that's it for this week of Marvel Buddies. Tune in. Make sure to tune in next Monday, guys. Peace.